About 3 years ago, I stumbled across a movie called Live Inside. And I started showing the movie that talks about the impact of music on those that have dementia and Alzheimer's. There was such an interest in it that I thought to myself, there has to be a way to do this on a local level, but keeping it simple still. So it was so impressive that I shared it with my Rotary Club, Apex Sunrise Rotary, and I shared it with several others and ended up showing it to Holly Springs Rotary Club. There was a decision to organize a group, get a district grant, and begin pushing out this idea of music and its impact on people. So far we've implemented in 6 different facilities, and we created an organization called Rotarians Against Alzheimer's and Dementia. We want to push it out so that other Rotarian clubs, other Rotary clubs can implement this.
When I was the foundation chair of our Rotary Club, I was looking for a new program we could implement to have a powerful impact in the community, something that really wasn't currently being done. At that time, my mother-in-law unfortunately was diagnosed with dementia. And then I saw a powerful documentary called Alive Inside, thanks to John Spratt, who did a showing at a local restaurant. After that, I continued to learn more about music therapy for Alzheimer's and dementia patients and saw the huge impact and direct benefit that it has on people's lives. Now, I'm excited to say that after 3 years after starting RADA, we have 6 care facilities who are engaged in the program on a regular basis.
Yeah, within Rotary, there's so many ways that we help in the world, and if you're looking for a meaningful way to plug into your community and to help the local people in your community with a meaningful issue, I think you may find RADA is a great fit. We all know someone who's been adversely affected with dementia or Alzheimer's, whether they be friends or family or client families. I was glad to be asked to help out because we're able to make a meaningful difference and improve the quality of life, not only for the residents, but also for the caregivers alike. I think what you may find, if you're looking for a turnkey program that is easy to plug into, easy to implement, and makes a meaningful difference in people's lives right in your own community, I think you may find that RADA is a good program that will resonate with what you're looking for.
When I first heard of Rotarians Against Dementia and Alzheimer's, I knew I had to get involved. Both of my parents were impacted by Alzheimer's, and it really affected my life. Very glad that I was able to provide a benefit concert out at my house where a local bluegrass band named Swift Creek came out. One of their members is also a Rotarian, and we ended up raising close to $2,000 that night to support Rotarians Against Dementia and Alzheimer's. I'm proud to be a part of this group. I wish Rotary luck in the future in making it a success around the world.
Personal experiences, my mother had Alzheimer's for over 2 years, or actually more like 6 years. Last 2 years were the hardest, and just my experiences with her and what she was going through led me to want to be involved with the program.
The impact that I've noticed that we have had with our residents is it not only just makes them come alive, the music makes them come alive, but it also stimulates them mentally and physically. It makes them want to move, it makes them want to get up and just participate more in activities. And music is just something about music. It's just, you know, there's rhythm, there's a beat, it's just something that makes you just want to get up and move. It makes you want to sing. If you don't know the song, it makes you want to hum the tune. One resident that we have here that pretty much sleeps pretty much all the time. She stays tired. But I noticed even from her husband, who has shared with us too, that the Music and Memory program has helped her tremendously. It makes her actually eat more. You know, we actually let her wear the headset during breakfast, and she actually stay alert, woke and alert.
Jesus, you breathe and then you sing. person knows I love to me, and I know why everything.
Share some words and some feedback of the great things that you've seen with RADA here at Waltonwood.
Certainly, Chris. Since being at Waltonwood, RADA has made an impact on the residents' lives. We have an independent living, assisted living, and memory care, and we're able to utilize the program throughout the spectrum of independent living, transitioning to assisted living and to memory care. It really ignites a set of emotions in the residents whenever they're having a bad day or they're struggling with something going on personally or medically, and we're able to utilize the music to soothe them and to really help them through that process. I have experienced several times on several occasions where residents may be nonverbal, and they do sing, they do come alive, they do display a different set of emotions than they do whenever they're nonverbal and walking around, are almost mute.
As an adult child of parents who live in Florida, I got the phone call. I can remember the day. It was in August of 2012 where my dad called me, and he said, "Asa," he goes, "they diagnosed me with Alzheimer's." And of course, we had seen dementia coming up, for the last year or so, and so it was one of those times when it's like, okay, now we know what we're dealing with. But unfortunately for our family, we had already been through this with my father-in-law, so we knew what was coming. Tried my best to get my parents to move closer to us, but that didn't work. So for the next 2 years, my mom cared for my father as he continued to decline. So Chris had already started the process of writing a grant to do an Alzheimer's project with the club, and immediately I joined on with that, and the experience has been phenomenal.
The main reason I joined RADA, other than being a Rotarian for many years, is a direct relationship with my grandmother. My grandmother, Lois Kelly, was a super politico in Western North Carolina, so I distinctly remember meeting every North Carolina governor and politicians all over the western part of the state. And later, as she contracted Alzheimer's, it was sad to me to walk in and she would say, "Whose boy are you?" And I would have to explain to her exactly who I was, that I was her grandson and I was Barbara's son. So it was very difficult for me to see her, a strong, intelligent, powerful lady in this state who didn't even know who I was.
Feedback you'd like to get, we'd love to hear it.
I think it's the best thing they've ever brought over here.
Oh, okay.
I enjoyed the few minutes I had it on now, and I hate taking it off.
Oh, well, that's good.
I really think, and I think it really helps my husband who has Alzheimer's. And I think he hasn't taken it off since they put it on.
Really, you find it just kind of helps him be
Yes,
more active?
because it keeps his mind occupied on something, and he enjoys it. I can tell how he enjoys just the music.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes, which we both always did like, but now to have it right whenever we want it on, it's great.
Feedback you want
share about the amazing things that you've seen happen here?
Well, as you saw, that it actually makes the residents very happy. It takes them back to a moment in their life. That actually brings back some of their memory, actually, to singing and it'll bring back some of the things they'll start talking about in their past.
Husbands and wives.
Yes.
Husbands and wives that they hadn't heard them mention at all until they put on the music.
Okay, I've never heard that before. Okay.
Hearing a wedding song.
Wow. Yeah, so take them back to their younger days.
Yeah.
Have you saw Miss Pauline, shake that, what she was, shake it, baby,
Broke my heart and said, your heart ain't that a shame. Here's
impossible. It sounds like music in my ear, the sweetest thing on earth. Oh, how I love Jesus, just impossible. I love Jesus, I love Jesus, because he first loved me.
I jumped at the first opportunity when I heard about the RADA program through our club. Once I was on the committee, and because of my past work experience as an IT solution engineer, I found my skills were really helpful in developing and documenting a framework for a local RADA program. The RADA framework was created after working with 6 local facilities and 3 years of trial and error. I'm really excited. We now have a solid model to share with other Rotary clubs so they can expand and help so many more people in the Triangle area.
She has some bad days every now and then, but I think this would really help on those days because she enjoys music. She grew up in the church, in the choir and everything. She had 3 brothers and 1 sister that actually had a quartet.
Okay.
And so she's been around music, and I think just seeing her tapping her foot and singing along, I think it's great. It's terrific.
With RADA, we are able to now go into all these different facilities and make a difference. I'll never forget the first one that we went to over in Fuquay, and the staff was probably as emotional about it as we were. Not a dry eye in the house once we would put the headphones on, and the residents there were able to listen to music that was picked out just for them, and their eyes just opened and they started singing, and not necessarily knowing them, we didn't realize what an impact it had made until later we were talking to the staff and found out that most of them in that room hadn't said a word in months, if not years. In my case, my husband and I publish a community online newspaper called Right Here In, and I was able to help with publicity, getting the word out about different events that we were having, how people could get involved, what needs that we had in the community, and spread the word, and other Rotary clubs heard about it and they wanted to get involved, and it really just grew.
Yeah, we were in high school at Broughton, and we graduated in 1953 in the same class, so we've been married over 60 years. And she's always loved to sing, and I was a trumpet player, and she was going to have a career in singing until she met me. I think this program is going to be wonderful.
So as part of the committee, one of my responsibilities was on the marketing side of this. So since we weren't going to be generating sponsorships for this, we needed to raise funds, and what I did is I went out and created a GoFundMe page. The committee then, we recorded a video to tell everybody what we were working on and why it was why we needed the money. And I'm not sure how much we raised over the course of that first year, but I know it was well over $2,500 on top of the grants and other donations that we received. So that went a long way towards funding it. We also created brochures and postcards and things that we could hand out at various events that the Rotarians do on a weekly, monthly basis to help expand it out into the community. And through that effort, we've also gone back to the facilities that we manage. We talk with the family members and tell them what our vision is for this, for RADA for the long term, and they are actually now starting to give us donations back for us being able to help them and their family members.